Okay, click and close for a second. I want to show you something really simple. Thanks. Okay, so I want to show you a couple things. I want to show you, well, I'll go through this. You got to be able to do this both ways. You got to be able to, by both ways, I mean with technology and without. So let's talk about what this means, you know, this kind of a system. So this is a system because we got more than one of something. Only this time we're talking about a system of linear inequalities instead of linear equations. So let's go through this one algebraically, kind of manually first, and then I'm going to show you a couple tricks for how to do this really easily using technologies too. Okay. All right. So what do you think we're going to do here? We talked about how to graph these things earlier in the year during our review, but we haven't talked about a system yet. So let's just take maybe the top one. How are we going to solve that? How are we going to graph that inequality? So let's graph this one in, how about in red? You go to the left. What do you go right? Down 4. So what's that even look like? If we graph a linear inequality in two variables, what should I expect the result to look like? If it's an equation, it's a line, right? Okay, so it's going to be a boundary line and a half plane. Right? Think what this is saying. We want all of the y values that are greater than this line, negative 3x minus 4, right? So we want to probably start with the boundary line, right? That's an easy one to graph. When we graph a line, we just have an anchor point, and then we get a second point and connect and extend. So where's our starting point on that first one? Negative 4. Negative 4, okay. Right, so we said this one was going to be red, the top one. So we start at negative 4.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to make a slope triangle that does what?
Down 3 over.
Down 3 over 1. Good, so we go down. Okay, and then we get our second point right here. And do we want to create a solid or a dashed line?
Dash.
It's got to be dashed, isn't it? Okay, so. Yeah. I am recording, thank you. Pretty crappy line, but you get the idea. So which half plane are we going to shade? The one above or the one below?
Above.
We want the one above. Right? If y is, we have a trick. If it's written in slope-intercept form, if the inequality is written in slope-intercept form, remember our trick, it's really easy. Because we know that we want the y values where y is greater than means above. And so we automatically know that we're shading everything on that side, right? So that's our half plane that we're shading. Now, we could always check that by testing a point too, right? We can test the point. Which point would we want to test here? 0, 0, right? So we could test this point. So if we plug that point in, what do we get? If we plug 0 in for x and 0 in for y, we get the inequality 0 is greater than negative 3 times 0 is 0 minus 4. True or false? True. So this point passes the test, and it should be in the shaded region then, right? But we can use our shortcut. We don't really need that, do we? Okay, what about the other line? Okay, solid or dashed? Dashed. Where's my starting point? 6. And what's my, how about that? Plan it that way. What's my slope triangle going to give me? 1/3. So I'm to get my second point, I go up 1 over 3. So there's my other point, and then I'm just going to connect that with another dashed line. That's a little better. Shade above or below? We're gonna shade below, good. And so then we're going to what's our solution gonna be, do you think?
Christmas colors.
So everybody see then that the solution's gonna be the place where all the parts of the XY plane that are shaded, how many times? Twice. Why twice?
All of both.
Okay, because there's two inequalities. What if I included a third inequality?
Where the triple intersection.
Okay, then I'd have to have the places that are triple shaded, right? Make sense? Okay? So we can do this pretty easily with technology. So I'll show you Desmos. Desmos is self-explanatory. Desmos is so nice because you just type it the way it looks. Okay, look what happens here. If I type y is greater than, how about that? Anybody see that?
How about that?
Okay, shades it for me.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Johan! Oh,
What do you know?
oh my God.
Put it down.
Oh my God.
Bring her down. What did he just hold for? Yo, I want to see this.
His eyes are on her.
Okay, we good? Leave Johan alone.
She was going.
Okay, everybody see that? And so we want the part that's multiply shaded. Okay, you can do this on your graphing calculators too. I have to give you a program I'll show you real quick what it is. Now I want to give this to you. Maybe we'll do it today. You might have this already. If you have the new operating system, you probably do. On your calculators, okay, so watch this closely. So on your calculators, why don't you get your calculator out so you can go through these steps.
I told my kids to go. I lost the charger though, so